Hey guys, I'm Deepti and it is that time of the year. Oh my god, we are doing our yearly favorites. I can't believe we've completed a year. I'm not sure when I'm going to be uploading this, but I'm glad we got through this and I hope you had a really nice year, a fruitful one. I mention this in every video, but sometimes life is unexpected. It takes a turn. We lose people, we gain people, and there are good memories, happy memories, and sometimes it's just a sorrowful one. And I hope that whatever it has been for you, you've healed through it. Whatever happened this year, I hope it taught you something, you learned something out of it, and you're getting better. And whatever situation you were in, I hope that it is getting better. Every time there's a new year, it shows us that there's something to look forward to, and it's not just going to be however it was. Change is constant and we have to adapt to changes as well. And yeah, I hope the new upcoming year is good and kind to all of us, and kind in terms of everything: health, wealth, happiness, family, everything. And I just wish each and every one of you a very, very happy and a nice, wonderful new year. This year was a roller coaster on its own for me. Lot of changes and a lot of things I didn't expect to happen, but yeah, grateful for everything. And anyways, let's get started. In this video I have a couple of favorites, high-end and affordable. The reason I make this video all in one and pretty long is because if you want to watch something, you can just watch everything in one video. I update the description box so you get to know the products as well. A lot of times when you split these videos, it doesn't get noticed. People skip on that as well, and then they're asking me, okay, but you mentioned this is your favorite, where is that? That's the reason I make everything in one video. I know it could be a little bit lengthy for a lot of you. You can of course always skip through the video, and timestamps will be updated eventually. Sometimes I make videos that are short too, most of the times 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but certain videos require a certain amount of length, so I cannot make it short. So before you come at me for this, I just wanted to clear the air out here. Anyways, let's get started. So first up, we'll be talking about eyebrow products. This is the Anastasia brow pomade, the only brow pomade that I used throughout this year pretty much, and the only brow product I actually used. I absolutely love it, and this is what works for my bushy eyebrows, and I haven't gotten it in a proper shape in a long time, so this is what works for me. I don't overline, I just fill it in with this. And to set it, I use something like the Blue Heaven eyebrow gel, or something like the Swiss Beauty clear gel. So this works really well for my lashes, and it's what I have right now as well, and I really like this one. And then moving on to eyeshadows, I have this one. This is the Huda Beauty Naughty Nude eyeshadow palette, my absolute favorite eyeshadow palette. I got this pretty recently, I think in the month of June, and I have been loving it. I have reached out for it quite a bit. It doesn't look like that, but yeah, this is a really nice eyeshadow palette if you want something that is warm toned, pigmented. The shimmer shades pack a punch. Matte shades again would show up on deeper skin tone and pretty pigmented as well, and you can get different looks out of it. And the other one of course is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde eyeshadow palette. I really like this one. I feel like if you want a little bit of colorful pastel looks, you can try this one. And the shimmer shades are so beautiful. You can just use this, the shimmer shades all over your eyelid just on its own, just one shade, and it still looks so good and put together. The reflex on this one is really nice, and I feel like the shimmer shades in this palette and the newer palette, they don't dry out. The matte shades are again really nice and pigmented. So these are pretty much the high-end eyeshadow palettes I have used throughout the year. M.A.C I Belong in Your Purse eyeshadow palette. I have this one in the shade Smoke It Up. This has been my favorite ever since I have got this. I have used this one quite a bit. It's what I have on my eyes today as well, mixed in with a couple of eyeshadows. But I think a tutorial of this would be up on my channel already. I will try to link it if it is up right here in the cards, or if not, it will be coming up very soon. Very pigmented shades, really nice matte shades, and very blendable shades, and you get a beautiful mirror as well. Very travel friendly. You can fit it right in your travel makeup pouch. Really beautiful eyeshadow. And then one I can't find this in stock anymore, but these LA Girl Pro Mastery eyeshadow palette. This one is not available like I mentioned, but they have a couple of different variants. Oh my god, the matte shades, the shimmer shades. This one came shattered, so I'm not able to open it up and show it to you guys, but let me just swatch one shimmer shade and show you. this is beautiful. So if you can find any variants in this, like look at that shimmer. You don't even have to wet it. You can apply it with your brush, with your finger. Just a beautiful eyeshadow palette. It is available on Hoke Makeup for good discount most of the times and like 30% off. So I have been eyeing another eyeshadow palette from LA Girl because, you know, I really like the pigmentation of this. And it just feels like some high-end eyeshadow palette, like even better than most of the high-end eyeshadow palettes I have. And then the eyeshadow stick, okay, I have these two from KIRO. These are the only ones that I've used throughout the year. This one is the KIRO Longwear Brightening Eyeshadow Stick. I have this one in the shade Luna Champagne. Sadly, this is discontinued. It's like the shade I have on my eyelid. Because it's discontinued, I don't quite use it as much, but it's like a beautiful, like cool toned champagne shade, and this is something again I've used for a lot of special occasions. Just this one on its own adds a beautiful spark to your eyelid, and I really like the shade. I'm sad that it is discontinued, but this shade in Peachy Gold is still available. It's what I have as my base eyeshadow today. These work really well on their own or like a base eyeshadow, and they're very easy to use and on the go, very creamy and blendable formulation. So definitely have a look at these. And for Kajal, I've pretty much used this one. This is the KIRO High Definition Soothing Eyeliner Pencil. This one is in the shade brown. This is the only like brown Kajal that's actually showing up pretty well on my eyes. The rest actually I have to tug and pull quite a bit. This one is pretty like pigmented and smooth, and it brings out the brown in my eye, and that's what I really like, especially with an eyeshadow look like this. These go on really well. And I have also reached out for the Belora Kajal. Where is that? I can't see it so much. This is a really nice pigmented black creamy kajal, especially if you want to like line your waterline. It looks beautiful. So that's what I have like on the upper waterline. It just makes the eyeshadow look really nice and put together. I mean, on the lower lash line, it does smudge quite a bit. I mean, it's not the most long wearing one, but it's very nice and pigmented. And then for mascara, I have used this one. This is the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift Mascara. Really nice. It's what I have on my lashes today. Really nice, lengthening, volumizing. I feel like this one doesn't get the hype it deserves because of the Sky High mascara, but I feel like this is just as good, actually. In fact, even better than that. It's waterproof, it's long wearing, and this is something I have used quite a bit. And also the KIRO Botanico Super Shield mascara. It's really nice and black. It's something I have used on a daily basis. It has pretty good ingredients like avocado oil, calendula extract, and I feel like it's a little bit more like kinder on the eyes. It doesn't like sting and burn. Not that the other ones that I have tried out burns my eyes. I don't use a mascara that does that, but I feel like this one doesn't do it at all. Like even when you wash it, and even if there's a little bit of residue that gets into your eye, it doesn't like sting and burn that much. And I've almost emptied this one out, I think, because I'm not able to like get it as much. Again, it gives you the same amount of length and volume, and something you can use on a daily basis. So I really like it for that. And then moving on to face. For primer, I have these two. These are the Maybelline primers, the Matte and Poreless Dewy and Smooth. Matte and Poreless I've used so much during the summer months. I was sweating, okay, and this room, like I have to close everything because otherwise there's a lot of echo, and I can't keep the AC on as well because there's a little bit of noise, and it alters the way the output of the audio is. So I have to film with everything like closed. So my makeup was starting to look really sweaty. That was when I incorporated this in my makeup routine, and I feel like it just does mattify the makeup. Like it holds it in place for quite a bit. It is quite a pore filling primer, but not a very drying primer. I can use this all over my face, but I concentrate this towards my T-zone. And during the winter months, like right now, I have this one on my face. This is the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth primer. What a nice hydrating primer. And this is amazing for people with dry skin during the winter time. And if you want that glow, like your foundation to look nice and glowy, you should try this one out. So you can purchase both of these, are pretty affordable, and I think like they're available on pretty good discounts most of the time. You won't be disappointed, but if you wanted a very dewy finish, you could try this out. So these two products will pretty much fulfill that need of primer. You don't really need to buy new primers, try out too many products, because these feel like high-end products. They're very effective, they work pretty well. And then another primer is the Huda Beauty Water Jelly Hydrating Primer. I really like this. It's like a gel-like consistency, but it is really nice and hydrating. It looks plump on the skin, and the makeup goes on really nice and smooth. So a really good primer, and this one goes on like flat 40, flat 50 on most discounts. Okay, don't buy it for the full price, wait for it, and it's worth the price. You get 30 ml of product in this. And then now moving on to foundation. We're going to be here for quite some time now because I have a lot of foundations to talk to you guys about, high-end and affordable, so bear with me. Firstly, let's talk about all the affordable foundations. The Insight HD Dewy Finish High Coverage Foundation. I absolutely love this one. I have this one in the shade MN30, which is a little bit like orange toned for my skin, but the shade lighter, it looks just like a little bit pale yellow neutral, so it doesn't really work that well for my skin tone, so I just stick to this. It has a really nice dewy finish on the skin and good coverage as well. It doesn't like cake up, crease, no, it doesn't settle onto the lines, and even if you have texture, it doesn't exaggerate it too much. It does oxidize a teeny tiny bit, so just keep that in mind. And it's a super affordable brand, super affordable foundation. It just looks like high-end on the skin. Like this could be a dupe for a lot of high-end foundations for sure. And then another one that is pretty recent but have been loving is the Faces Canada 3-in-1 foundation, moisturizer and sunscreen. So this is again similar to the Insight foundation itself, but you just get more quantity in this. You get 25 ml of product, and this is also quite pricey. There, I think in the Insights you get in the Insight you get 20 ml, you get 25 in this, but this is a lot more pricier. This is $5.49, but you can find it on discount most of the times. This is again really nice dewy finish. It's like a blend of a moisturizer and a foundation. So like not like a tinted moisturizer where it doesn't give you any coverage at all, but it's not like too thick and cakey on your skin. So it has that right blend and it just feels like second skin, but with good coverage and blends seamlessly, looks flawless on the skin. So yeah. And then I have my Renee Face Base Foundation. I have used this so much. I've recommended this so much. Again, a really good dewy product, looks like second skin, something you can wear on a daily basis. Not great in terms of coverage, again light medium, somewhat medium coverage, but something you can wear on a daily basis. Feels lightweight, comes with a nice packaging pump. Just that getting your right shade match might be a problem. I got this one in the shade Mocha, which feels a little pink toned on my skin. So yeah. And then the Mama Earth Glow Serum Foundation. This one took me by surprise because I was not expecting to like a Mama Earth product, and it's been a while since I actually started to like anything from this brand. This one was like a surprise for me. I'm not the biggest fan of the shade range. Of course, they just have 7 shades, which could have been improved upon, added a couple of deeper shades, and it's time for brands to do that. And I don't know when we're ever going to be getting that inclusive shade range. So of late, there have been good foundation launches with really inclusive shades, big shade range, even from Lakme, Faces and everything. So I wish Mama Earth does come up with more deeper shades in this, because this is a foundation a lot of you would really like. Again, has a really nice glowy, dewy finish, and you can wear this on a daily basis. So do you have to buy all of these foundations to wear on a daily basis? Not quite. This one you get 30 ml of product, I think. Yeah. And this one retails for $5.99. And so you can also find this on discount most of the time. So I think this should suffice if you want to use makeup product on a daily basis, and provided you also find your shade range. If you can't find your shade range, you can try out the Faces or maybe the Insight foundation. And then moving on to some high-end foundations, I have this one. This is the Smashbox Halo Tinted Moisturizer. One of my favorite products. I have not been able to put this one down ever since I got it, then intentionally had to put it aside because I have quite a lot of products I have to try out, quite a lot of products I have to use up. So I was like, okay, let me put this aside. This, it has light medium coverage. You can't build it to medium coverage, but it looks like skin, but it doesn't look too dewy as well. You know, sometimes when it's too dewy, it might look a little bit artificial, but this one is like that demi matte finish, and it just looks like your skin but better, like just gels in, sinks in with your skin, doesn't look cakey, doesn't look like it's clinging on to anything. I was not the biggest fan of any of the Smashbox foundations I've tried out so far. Not the one that everyone likes, not the one that comes in that glass bottle, nor the one that has that extreme coverage. Both of the foundations didn't work out for me, but this one was a surprise. I have this one in the shade medium. I do feel like it is a little bit warmer for my skin tone, but I still wear it. I wear it all the time. And then another foundation, I got this one on buy one get one, so I got 2 shades. Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. I had this one in the shade Honey, and I also got the shade Warm Honey, thinking honey might be a little bit neutral or light for my skin, so I'll mix it up with the shade Warm Honey. Just a quick PSA, do not get the shade Warm Honey if you have honey, because they pretty much are like identical shades. It's not even like a little bit deeper. So I'm not sure how they were trying to demarcate those shades and make that work for someone of a deeper skin tone. Honey has pretty good warmth to it. Sometimes I do feel like it's a little bit more orange looking on my skin, depending on my skin tone. Now, right now, I'm not my deepest shade, so it does look a little bit darker on me. It's what I have on my face right now as well. It just gives you that very nice seamless finish, like flawless almost. It looks matte but doesn't cling on to anything. doesn't dry your skin out. I wouldn't say it has a very dewy finish, and it just looks beautiful and seamless on the skin and pretty much flawless. And I have quite a bit of texture and acne issues, but it's not exaggerating anything, it's not emphasizing anything, which I really like. And sometimes I just use this underneath my eyes and around my mouth like a concealer as well, like a very light concealer. One thing I have to tell about this is that it's not a very full coverage foundation. If you're expecting coverage as such, you wouldn't get it from this. It's supposed to be like a lightweight foundation, so like medium, maybe light medium finish, but it looks beautiful. And it is something that I have seen people use on their special occasions as well. It photographs really well, looks good. And then another foundation. Oh, are we done with foundations yet? No, I told you we're going to be here for a while. So this is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. This is a pricey one, so think about it. Get your shade matched in the store if you're not sure, and then buy it, because this is for 4,200 rupees. But let me tell you, if you want a radiant foundation that doesn't look like, oily, greasy on your skin, not like it's, sometimes the very dewy foundations like crease a lot, cake up quite a bit and settle onto the texture and everything, you should try this out. It just gives you that very healthy appearance. Okay, it makes your skin look healthy, but a little bit glowy as well. A nice foundation for brides, and it wouldn't look too much. It's a lightweight foundation. It has a very runny consistency. I've shown a demo of this in my Nykaa Pink Friday sale recommendation video. You can check it out. If you just want to bring back that life to your skin, make it look a little bit healthy with makeup, this is the one. Because when I tried this out, I was actually feeling like, when you're not well, you're sick, how do you feel? That's how I was feeling. And when I used this, and my skin was not doing its best, it was not looking its best. When I applied this one, I was like, oh my god, it can make my skin right now look really nice and healthy and like happy. What a beautiful foundation this one is. I have this one in the shade 340 Oak, which is a pretty good match for me. So yeah, I often get asked what's my shade match in MAC, but it's very hard, you guys. I got the shade NC42, which I was using for the longest time, but it's actually very like orange and deep for my skin. NC40, I felt it to be a little too neutral or peachy for my skin, so I'm not sure what is my shade. And then moving on to concealer. For concealer, we have a couple of them, of course. I have my MAC concealer palette. Pretty hard to get this shade medium deep in stock, and if you can and if you have the budget, you should definitely try this out, because it is like skin. Like if you wanted to use something on a daily basis, most of the times our skin keeps changing color because you tan and then you have pigmentation, or if you haven't slept well, you can mix and match most of the shades. The color corrector is really nice, and it's a very thin formula where it blends really seamlessly in no time. You don't take a lot of time blending it. A really good concealer palette if you want to try it out, but pretty penny. Another concealer palette that I have reached out for quite a bit is the Insight HD concealer palette. It is not very similar to the MAC concealer palette. No, this one has a little bit of a thicker consistency and might look cakey if you use too much of it. And if you have lines underneath your eyes, or probably you have oily skin or deep set eyes, it might crease quite a bit because it has that very dewy finish and a little bit of a thicker consistency, but I really like it. It's what I have underneath my eyes. I really like how it's like set. You don't really have to set it with powder. It's just on its own looking really nice. The minute I set these kind of products with powder, I feel like it looks a little bit cakey, so I just leave it, let it be on its own, and it just looks really nice. And then another concealer, which is also a recent discovery. This one is the Huda Beauty 4 Filter Concealer. I don't really like to use this underneath my eyes because I don't find it to be very long lasting. It's a really nice concealer, but it does crease quite a bit and also fade away quite a bit, but I like to use this to spot conceal around my mouth. It's what I have right now. It just stays in place, gives good coverage and gets the job done. So yeah, I have this one in the shade 4.5G Granola. Then for loose powder, I have the Huda Beauty loose powder. This one is in the shade Banana. Such a nice formulation. Sets, smoothens but doesn't cake up, and also kind of brightening and adds a subtle glow to your skin. Then for blush, I have the Daily Forever 52 blush. This one is in the shade Sandy. I think online it's called dark brown. I'm not sure why there is a difference in that, but this is such a nice mauvey blush shade. Looks really nice pretty much with every eye makeup, pretty much with any look, and would work on a lot of different skin tones. It's very pigmented, very smooth matte formulation, and it doesn't cling onto your skin. I really like the size, the amount of product you get. So if you're looking for a good affordable blush, definitely check these out. And then my Makeup Revolution Super Dewy blush. Have used this so much, recommended this so much. Beautiful nude shade. This one is in the shade You Got Me Blushing. It has a little bit of like a mauvey pink hint to it. Very, very nice on the skin. Works for, again, different skin tones, and very buildable formulation. It's what I have on my face right now as well. I really like this. And then we have the Inside Cosmetics blush, which is a pretty recent discovery. So I'm kind of like, if I should talk about this. But if you wanted a good creamy blush that has that dewy finish, feels like high-end makeup on your skin, look into these. I have this one in the shade Dusty Rose and Strawberry Dip. I have talked about that in this video in detail. You can check it out. And then I have this Blue Heaven blush. This one is their Pop and Glow blush. This is in the shade Subtle Nude, which is actually a very beautiful nude shade. I'm not sure if it will work for people of deeper skin tone, but it does show up really beautifully on my cheek, and it has that nice dewy finish. Very nice nude shade. I don't really have like a creamy blush in this kind of a shade, like a nude shade. So I really like this one, and it's a very blendable dewy formula. You can actually skip highlighters when you have such dewy blushes in your collection. And also the Blue Heaven Stick Blush. I had this in a couple of different shades. This one is in the shade Rosy Dusk. That one is Dusky Rose. This is Rosy Dusk. Nice pink shade. Very blendable formulation. This can easily be a dupe for some of your high-end stick blushes. It's that good, creamy and blendable on your cheek. And then for bronzer, my Hoola Caramel Bronzer. This is one of my favorite bronzers. It adds the right amount of warmth to your skin. It's a very blendable formulation. And if you are of like a medium tan skin tone, I think you would really like this over the original Hoola bronzer and my Huda Beauty Tan Tour. I've talked about this so many times, so I'm not going to talk about it again. But I have this one in the shade Medium, which is quite pigmented. So if you're of my skin tone, try out the shade Light. For highlighter, I've used my Inside Cosmetics highlighter. This one is in the shade number 03, Angelic Beauty, so much. And it's like a creamy, nice highlighter. Looks like high-end. And I also have used my Nykaa Strobe and Glow highlighter so much. And I've talked about it so much that I'm not mentioning it again in this video. But these have been my favorites pretty much. And then moving on to lips, I already did a video on my most used lipsticks for 2022. I will link it right here. I had pretty much most of the lipsticks I thought that I've used the most, but I missed out a couple of them. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that in this video. So my Shiseido lipstick. This is a pretty recent discovery, but I had to mention this because this is in the shade Murmur. It's not like the shade is very unique and you can't dupe it. Maybe Maybelline Nude Nuance is quite similar to this. But the reason I really love this lipstick is because of the formulation. It's so creamy, pigmented, comfortable on your lips. Stays pretty much like any other creamy lipstick, but I like this one over the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, and I feel like this doesn't get that much hype like those get. And then this is the shade I have on my lips right now. This is the Anastasia lipstick in the shade Rogue. I'm not sure if you can find these anymore, but this is such a beautiful shade. I absolutely love it. I really like the formulation of these. They are matte but comfortable, like creamy matte. And very pigmented, and look at that. I've been talking for so long non-stop, and my lips are dry, but they're not drying my lips out all the more. And the Estee Lauder liquid lipstick in the shade Orchid Flare, and I think another red shade, I forgot the name. These I have worn quite a bit because they're long-lasting, comfortable, not the most pigmented, but they just feel really nice and lightweight on the lips. And then this one. This is the Blue Heaven Tinted Lip Oil. This is in the shade Sugar Plum. This is the one that I've used the most, and especially like when I have to get ready on camera and everything. It's a beautiful deep plum shade. Very pigmented, very comfortable on the lips, and they do transfer quite a bit because they are like a lip oil, but they feel like high-end and super pigmented. Like just this one on its own is enough. You don't really have to use a base product. And for lip gloss, I have my e.l.f. lip gloss. This one is in the shade Mocha Twist. Used it so much. Absolutely love this lip gloss. It's not like very sticky, not very tacky, and not extremely shiny. It has a decent amount of shine. Like if I top it off, like you can see, it has a decent amount of shine. It has a slight plumping effect. Nothing too much. It does tingle quite a bit. And then I have my Blue Heaven lip stain. I love this one over the Benetint and all of that, because this actually like leaves a subtle stain on your lips as compared to those. And again, quite long lasting and look really nice. Doesn't dry your lips out more. And then I have my Peri Pera Ink Velvet lip stain. I have this one in the shade Heart Fuchsia Pink. The reason I really like this is you just have to apply a very thin coat of this. Okay, if you apply it, like, it is a little bit thick and moussey, but you have to spread it evenly on your lips, and then your lips are stained. Okay, it's like, it's a beautiful stain on your lips. It just doesn't move, doesn't budge, and stays on for a really long time, doesn't dry your lips out. So I really like that. And a pretty recent discovery is the Sigma lip oil. This is again it's said to be like a tinted lip oil with a subtle like mauve tint to it. This is in the shade All Heart, but on the lips you can't really see that tint that much. And this is again really nice conditioning lip oil, and it just moisturizes your lip really well. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm not sure if I've missed out on something else as well in this video. Let me know what are your absolute favorites this year. Let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know if you want to watch a skincare video of such. Let me know in the comments, and while you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.